What is up, everyone? Welcome to the boring real estate show that we are now going to do every week. Um, so this week, we're starting the show, to kind of get in front of everyone, all of our people, all of us here. Mackenzie will be joining us, not today, but in other ones too, just to talk about boring real estate because real estate's not that cool, really, if you think about it. Like, I'm surrounded by it, so I'm in it every day. But you see people on Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff like taking pictures next to cars and buildings and tours, and you think about $1 million listing and all that cool, sexy stuff, but it's not really that much fun, really, is it? We should probably be talking about other fun stuff like traveling, skydiving, jiu-jitsu, other fun stuff that is probably better to talk about. But real estate is a necessity for most people, and it's something that's going on right now, which is pretty crazy. So this is the Boring Real Estate Show, and we're going to be here for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, however long I can talk for about this subject, and talk about boring stuff all day. So what initiated this conversation, these videos, where everyone, like, no matter where we go, who we're with, doesn't matter what we're doing, the conversation of real estate always, always, always comes up with friends, family, people we just meet randomly, people in my jiu-jitsu gym, everything always comes up. What's going on in the real estate market, and especially in Denver, because obviously that's where we are. Let me just start this one on Instagram here. Um, so yeah, it's challenging. That's for sure. It's a crazy market, as you may or may not know. We're in an extreme sellers market right now, which is causing a lot of issues for buyers, especially first-time home buyers. It can be specifically challenging for them. There is a lot going on that is just really hard to compete with a lot of other people right now. So what I want to do today is to just show you some stats, show you kind of what's going on, give you a kind of big picture of what's happening in the market, to let you know that there is still hope if you're a buyer out there. For sure, there definitely is. There's just some tactics, some things you have to do to get you over the line. And if you're a seller, there has not been a better time in history to sell your home. But there's also specifics for you as well. If you can sell, where are you going to go? So there's only a specific set of buyers who actually can make this work right now. If you're moving out of state, if you already have something else set up, if you're moving to new construction, but if you're just looking to switch house for house right now, it's super challenging. It's, damn near not impossible, but, very, very hard to do. We did it in the summer with our house. We just timed it perfectly, thankfully. But other people who are wanting to sell their homes are finding nothing else to actually move into, like for like, or an upgrade of their home. You can downsize, you can do different things like that. So if you're in the older generation, maybe the baby boomers, you can sell that big house you've got and move into a condo or townhome, and you'll be just fine. You'll make a good amount of cash. But if you're looking to move up in the world, it's challenging if you're going to stay inside of Denver. So let me show you a couple of boring things here on the computer. So I'm going to pull this screen up here and show you a few things. Let me minimize myself here. There we go. So here's the deal. In Denver right now, this is the last 7 days of what we've been seeing, right? So if you just have a look at here, what's going on, you can get a big picture for what is happening. New listings. There's 525 of them, which may seem like a big number to you, but it's really, really not. But if you look down here at pending, there's 1,431 pending. Okay, so not like less than half new listings to keep up with the pending ones that went under contract, and then 1,000 of them closed. So it's absolutely kind of nuts what's happening here. Right now, we have the biggest odds of selling in Metro Denver ever recorded. So if you're looking to sell your home, right now is the best time in history to sell it in Denver. So there's 86% odds of selling your house right now, whereas like pre-COVID, it was 61%. So everyone's moving here, and part of the thing that we saw, and part of the reason why this has kind of been happening, is that everyone's moving here because of the pandemic. Like a lot of things happened during that time. A lot of people realized that they could work from wherever they wanted to work, and they could work remote and move wherever. So the obvious choice was here because it's beautiful. Like we have the city right here, we have the mountains, we have everything. It's close to everything. You're a 2-hour flight to California, 2-hour flight to Texas, 4 hours to New York. It's easy to live here. It's amazing. And we have an up and coming city. There's a lot of tech companies moving here. So that was a no brainer. Like Mackenzie and I helped a ton of people move here from out of state in the last couple of years. And that's the exact reason they moved, because like they could. So we're seeing such a huge influx of people into Denver that it's just, there's not enough homes to keep up with the amount of buyers that there are out there. And that is what's driving through this crazy market. So have a look at something here. With buyers, if you're buying, let's focus on buyers right now. So rates are about to go up. They have ticked up already. So we're at 4% or just over. I think it might be 4.5 now, but we just ticked up in the rates. So last year we were in like the mid to high twos, which was amazing. Everyone was refinancing, everyone was doing their things. And what that meant was you could buy more home for less money. Okay, so borrowing money was cheaper. So for us, we timed it perfectly. I said with ours, we sold our home in Park Hill, moved over here to Central Park, and the only reason we could do it was because interest rates were so low and because of the insane amount we got for our house. So it was very, very cool what we were able to do, but now it's becoming a little bit more challenging because rates are starting to tick up. So every time the rates tick up, depending on what price point you're in, your budget starts to go down and down and down, which makes you less competitive. So it is challenging, but 4%, we're right around 4%, maybe a little higher right now, but 4% is a fantastic rate historically. Okay, so if you talk to like your parents or your grandparents' generation, like rates right now are amazing at 4%. It just seems high because last year your friends might have bought a place at like 2%, or maybe someone refinanced for that much. But right now it's at 4%, which is still a very, very good rate. So if you are looking to buy right now, it's definitely worthwhile having that conversation with a lender to see what that's going to look like. And anytime you talk to a lender, talk about interest rates, talk about down payments, but then talk about what that monthly payment is going to look like and if it's going to work for you. Now, we have seen some people buy down interest rate points, and it's challenging right now. I would not advise doing that, just because it might take you too long to earn that percentage back. So if you're buying down percentage rates, your payments are going to go down, but you have to repay that over time, and it's going to be challenging. By the way, FYI, just so you know, the information I get on a weekly basis comes from two people that I greatly respect and who are amazing. It's Megan Aller and Nicole Ruth. They do a call every Friday morning at 10 a.m., which gives you a complete market analysis. But they're like real estate robots. Like they're amazing. They're super cool, but like I don't know, they just like they just spout out facts, and you're like, hey, what about if I can do this? They're like, no, you must do this at 6%. So they're amazing though. So you get all the information you can from them. I get the stuff I can that I can understand and I go through. But if you want to get super in depth, you should check out those calls. Hit me up and I'll put you onto them if you haven't been there before. But so that's going on with interest rates right now. But the biggest challenge we're seeing is obviously the inventory. There's not enough inventory for all the buyers out here in Denver, which is why prices are going up so high. There's nothing, people ask me about a bubble. People ask me about different things like 2008 when that happened. It's nothing like that right now. Everything is a natural factor of supply and demand in Denver right now. So if you're looking at the amount of people come in versus the amount of homes for sale, it's only natural that prices are going to go up because the demand is so high for homes. There's so many buyers coming in that our prices are gradually going up. And it's nothing like 2008 where we had mortgage fraud and all the different stuff going on. It's a natural supply and demand issue. And really, if you just want to simplify it and dumb it down, that's what it is. So, if you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to wait, for 6 months, or I'm going to wait for 3 months, you're not going to see much of a difference at all. If anything, it'll get, worse for buyers. So if you're thinking about doing something, you should start thinking about it now. So for instance, we have this predictive months of inventory. So a balanced market in real estate is 6 months of inventory. Okay. So if nothing else came on the market like today, we would still have enough to last us for 6 months of the buyers who are out there. Okay. Um, and 6 months is a balanced market. We don't really see that much. 3 months is like an even market, 3 months of inventory. But right now, we're at zero point 0.2 in Denver. Right? So zero point 0.2 um, is a tiny number. That's how much inventory we have, which is insanely low. And that's why we're seeing so many competitive offers right now on the market. So if you're out there offering on homes, you've probably seen this, that we have appraisal gaps, 100K over asking, hard earnest money, inspections waived. Everyone's just going out of their way to buy homes and going crazy by waiving all of their rights and doing all this mad stuff. Now, we obviously advise our clients to be a little more sensible with what they're doing, but it is things that are happening on the market because there's so little homes to get right now and so many buyers out there. So the supply and demand is mad. So with that zero point 0.2, if nothing else came on the market today, we would have 6 days left of inventory on the market. 6 days, and all the houses would be sold. Okay, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy right now, but there is still hope for buyers if you're out there buying. It's not all doom and gloom. One of the stats I was really interested in, um, that they were talking about, was that only 60% of the homes are selling in the first weekend and going under contract. Now, I'm not too sure about this number. I'm not sure if it deals with different pending offers and stuff like that, but it still leaves 40%. It might be a little bit lower, and I'll double check these numbers, but it still leaves like 40% or a good chunk of homes still on the market. So if you're buying right now, um, think about looking at homes that have been on the market for a while, not just the ones that are on for the first weekend, because those are like the shiny pebbles that everyone chases. It's like everyone just goes after that, like whitewashed home with like all the kind of IKEA finishes and it looks all nice in the photographs. That's the one everyone's flocking to and buying. But what they're doing is they're going like, 50, 60, 100K over asking. So why would you not wait, see what else is on the market after the weekend madness, and then you could take that same 50, 60, 100K and put it into, a home that needed a little bit of work. So you got to think about those factors when you are taking this into consideration. You have that initial home that everyone's going to go to, everyone's going to flock to, but you can also look at the homes that need a little bit of work, and you can get them for around about 99% of the list value. And that is another, thing that we're looking at. If you're selling a home, if you're going under contract in the first weekend, you're typically getting about 4.7% over the asking price. But if it waits into the next weekend, you're pretty much going at asking price. And this is good for buyers if you can use this strategy and wait and take your time when you are buying a home and wait for the mad rush to get off. But for sellers, it's important to get your property sold in that first weekend, and everyone seems to think on the seller side it's super duper easy. And yes, of course, it's, you have that 86% chance to sell your home right now, but it still takes effort. It still takes, the right strategies, the right things to do with the market to make sure that you can get your home sold properly. The staging, the photographs, the videos, everything that's going on, the marketing, the ads, everything we run. Even though the market is so wild, you still have to put all that behind you and make sure that you're doing it all properly. So, like I said, crazy market. Everything's pretty wild right now, but we are working through it. There is still opportunity to get into a home if you are buying. If you're selling and looking to move to another home inside of the city, it's challenging, but it's still doable. But the biggest people who are winning right now are downsizers who can sell their home and move into a condo or a townhome. Maybe it's baby boomers, people who are moving out of state. You're massive wins there because you can sell your home for a fortune here and move to, wherever it is in the middle of nowhere and buy like a mansion for $300,000 and move in there. So people like that are winning too. And then obviously out of state owners. So if you own property in Denver, but you live out of state, selling that is a no brainer right now. Now, holding on to opportunities, rental opportunities and stuff is great. But if you're looking to cash out, there has never been a better time historically to cash out on a rental property than right now. And you would also be doing Denver, the city, a massive favor by adding inventory on to the market. So yeah, we're hoping to see the market not shift, but things come on just a little bit more. So typically the end of April and May, we're going to see an uptick in inventory in the summer market. Hopefully that's going to start to bring more on and soften the market a tiny bit. Now you're not going to see a crazy change. You're not going to see like, oh, prices are staying where they are or they're dropping down and everything's good again. It's not going to be like that at all. It's still going to be crazy, just a little less crazy, you know. So hopefully we're going to see things come on in April, May, and then with interest rates ticking up a little bit, it's going to take some buyers out of the buyer pool. So we're going to have a little bit less buyers, a little more inventory, and hopefully we see the number, that zero point 0.2, come up a little bit in the next kind of couple months here. So you can do it. It's definitely worth a conversation if you are looking to buy. Now, last thing I just want to touch on: if you are buying in Denver, the average Denver buyer right now has a credit score of 730 with 30% down payment. Now, that can seem astronomical for some people. It can seem reasonable for others, but 730 credit score with 30% down is like the average. You know, right now we're seeing that you at least need to put like 10% down, which would be, you know, definitely favorable for sellers when they're looking at offers. And anything less than 10% is going to be challenging for them to look at, unless it's, you know, obviously VA, or we're looking at a lower price point with, you know, a condo or something like that. So looking at those credit scores, look at what you can put down, speak to a lender. We have plenty of lenders that we recommend that you should be talking to. But basically, the moral of the story today in this boring episode of the first boring real estate show, of course, what the most boring thing possible is my camera turning off just as I'm wrapping up. But yeah, the real estate market in Denver is crazy right now. It just is, and it's going to be like that for a while. You know, we were talking the other day about when it's going to start evening out, and it could be like 6-8 years. It could be like a while in the future. Even with a market correction, if that happens, it's still going to be the influx of people coming in here. And I know because I moved here myself from a different place, obviously. And Mackenzie's seen it change like crazy since, you know, she's born and raised here. So it's wild right now. But if you need some advice, if you need second opinions, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. As always, our information will be here in the comments and in the descriptions and stuff like that. And I would love to help you. So going forward, this is going to be a weekly show we're going to be doing. 15-20 minutes, half an hour, we'll see what happens. But we're going to be talking about boring stuff like the market. We're going to be talking to some business owners, what they're doing through this time, other agents, lenders, anyone that we get on that you want to talk about. And if you have suggestions, let us know. We'll be happy to chat more. So there you go. Episode 1 of the Boring Real Estate show is done. If you need anything, reach out as always. And if you're on our mailing list, you'll get this in an email as well. If you're not, drop a comment below and I will add you to that with a bunch of more information that you can look at for your boring pleasure. And with that, see you next week.